It's time for your daily crypto update with Framework Fortune Crypto. I'm your host Ben. Now let's dive in. Bitcoin on the daily chart, still looking pretty good. We got a nice pop up there, almost to 49. See, we're getting a nice little curl here. We do have a bit of resistance at the tops of the bodies of these candles right there at that 48.3, but that shouldn't be enough to really hold it up here. We may have a little pullback to 47.5, but I still expect Bitcoin to make this move up to 50K over the next couple of days. So right now on Ethereum, we have this downtrend. Ethereum needs to break that downtrend. It is holding the 200 at 33.50. See multiple wicks here where buyers has pushed this up at the bottom of these candlesticks. It does look like it may have that pullback a little bit more before it tries to come back up and retest 3,500 as resistance. Now, if it doesn't break over this downtrend, it could easily keep selling off just like we saw on Solana after it hit all new highs. And speaking of Solana, you can see this is the downtrend I was talking about. If you didn't catch that crypto update, Solana has now broken it back over 150, looking pretty bullish, testing that 170 area. We get through this area here, then we've got that room up to 200 again. I think we get another test of 200 and Solana will break up to new highs. If we don't break for new highs, then expect a pretty big dump, but that's probably going to be a couple of weeks away before we even get to that point. Still got a little ways to go. I would say Solana could be up at 200 by the end of next week possibly. So ALGORAND starting to pop up, just broke over its downtrend in this triangle. It does need to get above 215 if it's going to continue to move. If not, it could easily pull back in this triangle around the 190 area and then maybe make the breakout. But preferably, since it's above it now, I would like to see it go ahead and push over 215 and show a nice show of strength. CARDANO, I'm holding what I've got left still, but every day that CARDANO is not pushing up towards that 250 line, it makes me more and more concerned. We are still holding above 230, but you can just see every attempt that CARDANO's had to try to rebound, it gets slammed down, and I don't like that. It needs to break strong here soon over 250, or this is going to sell off to possibly $2 or even back down to the uptrend at $1.40. Now, Atom today broke for new highs, up over 40, ran all the way to 41.5. Cosmos ecosystem, baby, this is what I'm talking about. We're still pushing, and of course, with Cosmos ripping, some of the other coins are ripping as well. You can see AKT making its way back up. That's a Kosh. And DVPN, which is Sentinel, that almost made a new high. This is close to making a new high. We may see DVPN over 5 cents if Cosmos keeps running like it is. And XPRT, which is in that Cosmos ecosystem, this is persistence testing that previous resistance at $12. If persistence can break that, I think we see persistence move on up. There's a lot of stuff coming out on persistence here soon. That liquid staking and P-stake. Expecting some nice buying movement to come in on XPRT soon. But back to Atom, as it's leading the pack of the Cosmos ecosystem. At the moment, we did just have a pretty hard rejection at 40 with this big indecision candle, very little body, bunch of wicks, and now we're having a bearish candle. So we may see Atom pull back down to that 37, 38 area at the tops of these candles right here where it's previous resistance. And the 10 days also right there. No surprise there, getting a little sell-off after breaking for new highs. That happens every single time that you break for new highs. Avalanche, same thing, just pushed for those new highs at 76, having a little pullback there. Does look like it may try to pull back some more, but it also gave that same type of little fake out on this pullback. So it could be the same thing. We could see this pop back up and start running some more, but Avalanche and Cosmos Network just going nuts. Now, CGLD, since that last little pop out of this little sloping channel, has been climbing up nicely. I'm looking for CGLD to have a pretty good pop. It had some nice bounces, but never really got a big pop like I was expecting, where it might run up to that 650 area where it's got held up before. But if we draw a trend line right here, that's the uptrend that we currently have, and then at the tops of all these candles you could place a resistance line, and it's about at 550, and you can see we have a triangle of consolidation, a nice wedge here on the 4-hour chart, and that'll be on the daily too. It is getting close to trying to test that 550 one more time. Breaks 550, I think we're going to see a nice movement out of it. It's getting close to the tip, so that's when we always see the breakouts. Dash still holding around that $200 area. If it can keep holding there, we could see a bounce come off of it. DOGECOIN still trying to hold that 24 to 25 cent area, but struggling, really struggling. POLKDADOT just got done with its little pullback, bouncing off of that 33 area like expected. Let's see if it can't push up to that 40 area and maybe even beyond, because POLKDADOT's been moving nicely, but still hasn't had a big push up to make new highs like we're seeing on some of these other altcoins, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem. EGLD is not one that I've covered, but it kind of has that same pattern as Avalanche. It's on this nice little uptrend, and I think this is only on Voyager. It's not on Coinbase, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. Recently tried to make new highs over 300 before getting rejected. It's found a little bit of support so far, it looks like, at this 250 area. If it can hold 250, that could have a push back up to 300 and maybe even higher for new highs. Now, I did get in farm. We're right here at the tip. I'm in at 207. I'm looking for the bounce right here for the breakout of this triangle. If it starts dumping below 200, then I got to get out. I'm not going to hold this below 200. But it looks like it's going to hold here, and we should get that bounce up. And if we can break, we should be able to at least move to 224 where the 200-day is. So I'm not looking for a long-term hold. I'm just looking for one of these nice big pops, like a run up to 250, maybe even 300. That being said, though, farm being in this big wedge, it does have the potential to make new highs. Maybe around that 400 area if it does have a strong break. Now, I'm still holding Fetch. I don't like that it cracked the bottom of the uptrend. You know, it's been fighting with it for the last 2 days. Dropped below it, pushed above it, dropped below it. Just had another push above it, but it's back down to 84.5. Kind of testing that 84 cents. It needs to hold. It needs to get back above this uptrend. If it does not get back above this uptrend in the next 10 hours, I'm probably going to let it go and let it drop again before I get back into it. I do think long term this has a lot of potential, but I am looking for a big breakout on this at some point. And if it's not going to happen now, we'll get a chance to knock it out later. So just got to be patient a little bit longer. Make sure this area is going to hold. From there, we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. So HBAR had a pretty strong rejection off of that 55 cent area. It's on a downtrend right now. As soon as that downtrend breaks, then we could see HBAR start moving again. This previous top of this channel is new support now, so we'll go ahead and turn that green. But it looks like it's going to try to hold at that support around 42 cents, right where the 50-day is. But you do want to see it break soon, or it could pull back down. Now, NUMERAIRE did get a nice rip all the way up to 64. I haven't said anything about it in a while because the stock market's been shaky, so I wanted to see how it's going to react with the stock market dropping, since we've only seen it react with the stock market going up. Now, NUMERAIRE, however you say it, when it back in the original big rip, got almost all the way to 100. So it does have that potential to pop back up to that area. The concerning thing is, if we go out to the daily chart, you can see it a little bit clearer. This could be a head and shoulders pattern. So this would be a shoulder here. I'm actually going to take the drawings off. This would be a shoulder. This would be the head. And this would be the second shoulder starting to form. And if it doesn't break up over 70 over the top of this candle, then it will have a dump we're going to want to see the price movement out of this head and shoulders to the upside soon. VGX, the Voyager token, just had a pop, bounced off of 250 back up to almost 350. So even with this new token, the VGX 2.0, and them having a mintable pool to add to the supply, it seems like they're only going to be doing that at the end of every year. So this thing at the moment is 250 million in circulating supply, I believe, somewhere around there. So that's pretty low. And a lot of the benefits that you're going to get in the future from holding VGX could drive more buying into it. So in the short term, we could see some nice rips on it.